Right then guys, welcome back to another video of the Cryptid Files. These ones are my favourite to do. I love cryptids, I love the lake monsters, sea monsters, cryptids. I love all of it. So another episode today guys, and the first one to kick it off with is from 1953. And this is 16th of December. So Loch Ness Monster again. The Loch Ness Monster has appeared again. 5 workmen, among others, saw it yesterday for 10 minutes. It was seen in Urquhart Castle Bay. The men who had binoculars said it looked like a huge horse at the front, and considerable splashing about 20 feet from the front indicated the tail. When they first saw the monster, the front part was high out of the water, almost perpendicular. One of them said, and it appeared to shake itself like a horse. A number of lorries and cars were stopped on both sides of the loch as people watched the monster. It was a bright, clear, sunny day. The men said they had been working in the area for 3 years. They had not seen the monster before and never believed in it. So this again, guys, follows on from the UFO case where these people are fortunate enough to get multiple minutes worth of sightings. In the last video, we had those people who had the 45-minute viewing of the UFO. These gentlemen here in that lorry have been able to view for 10 minutes. I've never known any case, modern case or back then, that's been a 10-minute sighting of the Loch Ness Monster, allegedly. If you've seen it for 10 minutes, are you going to mistake it for an eel? I don't think so. And the fact there was other multiple people there to witness it. So how many people do we estimate? A dozen maybe? 10? That's still a lot of people to corroborate each other on what was actually there. What do people actually think the Loch Ness Monster is? Do you think it's just a large eel being mistaken? Do you think it's a plesiosaur? Do you think it's something totally different? That could be something that we've never seen before. Let me know down below, guys. So another sea monster, guys. At a place known locally as the Dock on the Muckross Peninsula, Urquhart, is to be seen a huge sea monster which was washed ashore by the high tides. The monster is the largest ever seen on the southwest Donegal coast, so this island. Our Glen Column correspondent who visited Muckross measured the monster, which is over 30 feet in length, with a girth measurement around its thickest part of over 20 feet. It has a huge tail with an expansion of over 12 feet from end to end of the fin. It has 2 large, sharp fins protruding from its sides, with a dorsal fin of very large size. One peculiarity is that it has a beak-like mouth. This stout beak protruding over a foot in length. The monster is estimated to weigh at least 3 or 4 tons, from the Donegal Democrat in Ireland. Fascinating one, guys. It doesn't sound anything like a whale or a shark to me. The beak sounds familiar to what maybe like a giant squid would have, but it's definitely not a giant squid from this description. So things in the sea, guys, I think there's untold things in the sea, guys, that we don't know. There's depths we can't go to. It's just so vast. Trying to see something there would literally be like a drop in the ocean, trying to find something of that nature. And these guys have just been extremely lucky to find something that passed away on the beach. So let me know down below, guys, what you think it is, or if you've heard of that report from before. That was from April 1959. So if you can find any pictures or if you know about the story, then by all means drop me an email or comment below. So this next one, guys, is a handwritten sighting from the TUFO guys themselves. So this is from the 5th of July 1964, and this is from Saskatchewan in Canada. A new monster sighted. So Rowan's Ravine in Saskatchewan has an underwater something like Lake Okananga's Okapogo. I'm sure everyone knows the Okapogo monster. The Loch Ness Monster, Vancouver Island's caddy on Lake Manitoba, Manipogo. So there's one there as well, guys. In any event, the holiday makers at the provincial park 50 miles northeast of Regina say they saw it last Sunday. Fisherman Leroy Loveridge of Regina said he saw the creature at a mile from shore about 4 p.m. If you're seeing a creature, guys, from a mile from shore, it's a substantial sized creature. When it came nearer, we could see it. It was over 30 feet long and moving on the water like a snake, Mr. Loveridge said. He said the creature was long, dark and shiny and looked looked like egg-shaped groups attached together. He said the thing would go under the water, surfacing about 10 feet further on. Reports said there were 3 boats in either spot. 2 of the boats tried to catch up to the eggy beast, but he dived under. Last they saw of him, he was swimming towards the lake. Winnipeg Free Press, July 8th, 1964. I bet you guys no one has heard that story in 60 years, I would imagine. Fascinating story. The fact that it was being chased by the fishermen and it evaded them, to me would say it was something that had some sort of intelligence and it was trying to get away. It's not the classic case of it was a log in the water, you've mistaken a log, you've mistaken, some type of debris in the water. That, to me, guys, says that it wasn't an actual creature. What it was, we'll never know. 6 years ago, I believe it is a lake, but I believe it is a lake monster. But that's my personal opinion. I love to believe in all these types of things. So let me know what you think down below, guys. So other side of the world now, guys, South Africa, Vanderbilt Park. The hunt is on for South Africa's Kaldam monster, a huge reptile with staring eyes, reputed to live in the River Vaal. For 72 hours, an army of monster hunters, armed with flares, cameras and scuba diving equipment, looked for the beast in the first organised search on the man-made dam on the river, which is on the Thames Vaal and the Orange Free State. So the Vaal Dam monster rose from the slimy depths of the river to hit South African headlines almost a year ago, when anglers, speedboat enthusiasts and scouts reported a huge reptilian creature had been seen waving its hideous neck and body in the lake formed by the dam. Now, I can remember watching something years ago, guys, where they'd put a dam in Spain, and the consequence of that is it trapped all of the fish in a certain point, and these catfish then grew massive because all of the food that they're preyed on was now concentrated in one area, and they just ate it all up and it became huge. So is that a case of that's why that monster's there? Because the dam has trapped a lot of the food chain in there, and it's just going in at will and eating whatever it wanted to. Who knows? 1964, that one, guys. 11th of July. So this one, guys, is predominantly, up until the end, this is predominantly lake and sea monsters, this episode. So Monster of Sister Lake seen again. So this one's Michigan, guys, USA. 13th of July, 1964, in the Dowagiag Swamp. So the Monster of Sister Lakes, Michigan, described in our September issue, was sighted again on July 13th, 1964, by a married couple who watched it from their car for several minutes on a backwards road near Dowagiag Swamp. The couple contended that the creature made no attempt to approach them, seemed rather shy, and eventually climbed a tree. They described it as taller than a bear and reddish-brown in colour. Fire department personnel were sent to the scene and found scratches and broken limbs on the tree. Now, I thought that was going to be... So a lot of these cases, guys, I'm reading for the first time when I'm doing the video for you, so the reaction's genuine. I thought that was going to be a swamp monster in terms of something amphibious, but looks like it could have been something more Bigfoot-esque, something more Boggy Creek monster-esque for that one there, 1964. So these ones next, guys, this last story, guys, for the video falls into the subject of big cats in Britain. Now, these ones are from the 60s. So, and I believe in the other video I've got one, some from the 50s. So from the 50s all the way up to modern day, so what, 70 years, people in the UK have been seeing big cats. Now, I know there's a lot of people who say big cat, there's no chance big cats can exist in Britain. There's nothing for them to feed on. There's nowhere for them to stay. They couldn't stay out of sight. Well, if you ever leave the city, guys, and go from city to city, there's an awful lot of countryside and places for them to live. There's millions of deer in the country. There's sheep. There's badgers, foxes. an unbelievable amount of stuff for them to eat in this country. So I've never seen one. I wish I had. I would love to have seen one. I know a lot of people who have seen them, and there's a lot of people that I trust and believe, like Paul over on the Droof Proof channel. He's seen one. There's been thousands of sightings, guys, all over the UK of these big cats. Now, will some of them be lying? Will some of those people be lying? Quite possibly, but not everyone is. And all we need is for one encounter to be genuine, which I think there's many encounters that are genuine. But we've got one, then therefore everything is true. Everything that we've seen, everything that we've experienced about these big cats is going to be true just from that one account. So not everything has to be true, just one has to be true, and then, you know, we can take it from there with the big cats. So this one, guys, is from September 3rd, 1964. Lion Billy hunts for a puma. A ranger from the Rocky Mountains took a gun with him when he went out today in search of the puma said to be living in the woods near Crondall, a tiny Hampshire village on the borders of Surrey. For this one, guys, I'll go on Google Maps and I'll get a picture of the woods near Crondall, so you can have an idea of where this guy was hunting for the lion. It's interesting as well, guys, that a ranger from the Rocky Mountains has decided that this was worthwhile enough for him to come over to the UK in the 60s to hunt this thing. So Lion Billy Davidson went out at 4 a.m. with farm manager Mr. Edward Blanks, on whose farm a steer is said to have been mauled. They returned a few hours later without success, but planned to go out again. Asked how near to the animal they had got, Mr. Blank said, "We are tired of the fuss. All we want is to be left alone so that nothing interrupts the search. I believe we have almost got the puma by its tail. Why the guns? I do not know whether Mr. Davidson intends to shoot it when we find it. But I know I do," said Mr. Blanks. "It has been around on my farm for too long." So, well before 64, guys, the farmer has said that this big cat's been on his land for years before 64. So, the next article, guys, prowling puma hunted by police this time. So, an expert is being called in to help police track a puma that has savagely attacked a calf. There is no doubt some rather sinister creature which appears to be a puma is lurking around, said Mr. Douglas Osmond, Chief Constable of Hampshire, yesterday. So that in itself, guys, is fascinating that a policeman is willing to go on record and say that he thinks it is a puma, and they've called in expert help from America to help find it. It must be found immediately before it attacks again. There aren't any zoos or circuses in the area. We just don't know where it has come from. Yesterday, farmers in the villages of Crondall and Church Crookham took load of rifles out harvesting with them. The calf which was mauled is now recovering in a paddock at Bushy Lease Farm, Crondall, said the farm manager, Mr. Edward Blanks. It was viciously attacked on the neck and chest. I've seen this evil-looking creature. It is the size of an Alsatian dog, the colour of a lion, and has a long tail and feline head. The Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries sent experts to see the attacked calf. They told me that they thought it could have been a puma, said Mr. Blanks. He added, "I won't go anywhere without my rifle. I shall not feel happy until it is dead." Another farmer, Mr. Leonard Hobbs of Marsh Farm, Crondall, said, "It makes the most unearthly shrieking wail at night. My wife won't go out alone. I've only seen it once about 2 weeks ago, one early one morning." So that description, guys, of it being an Alsatian dog size. So I used to have an Alsatian, guys, and he was 45 kilos. And if he stood up on his back legs, he could put his front paws on there, and he would have been, I'm not 6 foot, but when he was stood on his back legs, guys, straight up, he would have been about 6 foot. So the colour of a lion and has a long tail and feline head. I don't know of any cat, guys, domestic cat, that would be the same size as my German Shepherd. He was huge. He was a monster. So these big cats, guys, let me know what you think down below. I don't know whether it is a case of pumas, lions, etc. have escaped the zoo. They've been let go after the Exotic Animal Act was repealed, and lots of people allegedly just let their animals go instead of having them euthanized and put down. Or I don't know whether it's something. Could it potentially be something that's indigenous to the UK that we've just never seen? And everybody says to me, you know, They can't hide for that long. Somebody would see them. How many people, guys, are actively looking for them? Realistically, except for me and you guys and the people who are really interested in this thing, how many people are actually looking for them? How easy would it be for you to be walking down a country lane, talking to your friend, and it's there in the bushes, perfectly still, camouflaged in? You would never know. You would just walk straight by it. So I think these creatures, guys, are a lot different to the dogmen, Bigfoot, cryptid type things, where we can go, maybe we go on the supernatural side of things potentially, or paranormal. I think these things are 100% flesh and blood. This thing 100% was, if it's caused that much damage to the calf and it had to be taken to the vets. So, like I say, guys, personally, I think maybe it could be something indigenous that we don't know about, that we've never seen before, or something that we think maybe was here a long time ago and then went extinct and it's been ruled out. Those are my views, guys. Let me know down below what you think these big cats are. Do you believe in big cats? Do you think it's a non-starter? And let me know what you think about the sea monsters. And I'll see you in the next one, guys.